What's up, cannabis community? Jennifer Johnson here, and Happy New Year to you all. My original purpose for today was to film and release the first episode of Your Week in Weed for 2021 with a new format and a truly fascinating story happening right now that I've been working on regarding the big news in the industry surrounding Illinois' projection of over $1 billion in sales within the first year of business, and some not so great things happening behind the scenes that, in my personal opinion, are an indicator of what major metropolitans, who, if they aren't careful, will soon be facing in this massive wave of states legalizing cannabis and passing it into law. Trust me when I tell you that this story isn't going anywhere anytime soon, and in fact is only getting more and more interesting as the days go by. But something else happened this week, and let me just start with, what happened in Washington, D.C. this week was nothing short of senseless, and anger-provoking, and yet somehow not too terribly shocking, given the last 6 months or 4 years, let's be honest. But I'm not here to talk about that either. Something happened to me last weekend that I had to share with you all. And before I start, let me just say, this person knows that this video is being made and has since apologized unnecessarily and repeatedly for what was said. Let me also just say I love this person very, very much, and we are all good. Oh, sorry. In a New Year's Day conversation that was just about to wrap up, it was said, and again, by someone that knows me in and out, I'm sorry, I don't have time to sit around and get high. I have stuff to do. No offense. Now, two things happened in that moment simultaneously. My husband, who has smoked cannabis once in his life and wasn't a fan from the moment he did it, made an audible gasp. And number two, in that moment, for a flash, for a moment, I felt a few things. That I was a stereotypical loser, and if this is what this person thinks, what are the other people thinking? And more importantly, I had a temporary lapse in the memory for all of the numerous things I know cannabis had done for me. And I felt like I was doing something wrong and somehow felt less than. Now, this all happened so quickly that the person on the other end wouldn't have even noticed a thing, but a split second to respond with, well, that does offend me and you're wrong. Sure, I could have been a little less neener about it, but it was still said with a bit of decorum and the best I could do in the moment. And I will certainly spare you and this person the rest of the gory details. Because the main point of the story is this person never made the correlation between the end of a very long and dark and unhappy time in my life and the moment I reintroduced cannabis back into my life and stopped my reliance solely on the prescribed medication that was a large part of me getting to such a dark place originally. This person in that moment need to be educated in the fact that it wasn't until I started introducing cannabis back into my life that some major moves were made. such as losing 100 pounds, eliminating 5 different medications I had been taking daily, again, prescribed by my doctor, for chronic pain, depression, and severe anxiety. And I finally kicked a 20-year benzo addiction that kept me in a constant state of angst and anger. Now, could I have done these things without the cannabis? The numerous years prior where I decided it wasn't grown up or mature to smoke would say otherwise. Ultimately, I need to and will thank this person because it led to the thought process of, if someone like me, who couldn't be more outspoken about my use of the drug and the benefits of it, someone who thought was the one who changed the opinion of those in my immediate world, if I felt that way in that moment, what are the reactions others are getting and how are they feeling in that moment? It was a very large reminder of just how much work still needs to be done. Still. The reminder that despite the bipartisan acceptance of the drug, there is still a ton of individual education needed amongst the masses. In fact, I will thank this person for reminding me that because I live in a state that has embraced it into its culture so deeply and so quickly, that so many still have not, and those who have are very new. And sadly, there's still so many of us that feel they need to hide, not just be discreet, but actually hide their use because they still feel it's a shameful and unlawful act, despite the law. So where is this taking me? I want to take a moment to remind you that if you are somehow still feeling shame for fear of people's reaction, I urge you to take comfort in the numbers and the knowledge that these opinions are unfortunately coming from outdated stereotypes that have been proven time and time again to be false. In fact, I want to remind you that the dispensaries are full of a lot more than flower and concentrates. I urge you to explore more with different products, and instead of walking in with your own preconceived ideas of judgment for the people that use the different types of products that this community internally is known for. I know I eventually did and found myself in a whole new world with different feelings and benefits that I simply never imagined were an option for me. Let me please be clear, this certainly isn't a battle cry for you to come out of the cannabis closet, so to speak, and sport your pot leaf t-shirt to your family's next Zoom get-together. No. More of a cry of acceptance on your own behalf to stop feeling the shame. Absolutely zero shame in 2021, regardless of your reasons for consuming it. So that's it. I want to thank you all for the incredible feedback and support Your Week in Weed has gotten. Across the different platforms, it has received numbers that have been beyond my expectations, and I look forward to bringing you a new episode with a new format next week. Until then, have a great weekend, CannaFam. We will see you on the gram feed next week or throughout the week in my stories. But until then, spark something good. Bye.